बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। Devotees, let's all clasp hands together, especially let's sit up straight, close eyes, and try to focus our mind on the Supreme Lord as we prepare ourselves to take a journey of divinity. Prathamam Sadgurum Vande Shri Krishnam Tadanantaram Guru Papatmana Trata Shri Krishnas Tvamalatmana Ahovakiyam Sthanakalakutam Jighansaya Payayadapya Sadhvi Lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam Kamvadayalum sharanam brajema Namah Kamalna Bhaya Namah Kamal Maline Namah Kamal Padaya Namaste Kamalekshana Yo Brahmanam Virdhati Purvam Yo Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvang Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। आदरणीय पूजनीय पंडित जी, अन्य पंडितगण, प्रिय सज्जनों, प्रिय भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, most worshipable Panditji, our Pandits, devotees, dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to each and every one of you here tonight. Before I continue, let me first of all also mention, of course, we are coming live also on Bhakti TV through the kind courtesy of Pandit Satyananda Maharaj from the Satya Ananda Ashram in Arangwes, producer of Bhakti TV. I want to thank Panditji and his team, and to all the listeners and viewers on Bhakti TV, special Radhe Radhe and Pranam. We're also coming live on 106 FM. And so we'd like to thank our sponsors who have made this possible. Sachin's Auto Air Conditioning, D. Sibalak Drive-in Hardware, Narvik Enterprises Limited, DS Tiles and Home Center Limited, Radha Govind Society. Well, I thank all the sponsors for their wonderful effort and the wonderful gesture, and for them to continue in this wonderful vein as we uplift Sanatan Dharma, as we bring divine knowledge to all far and sundry and all who listen and see. As was mentioned, on the 14th of January, which is tomorrow, 14th January, it's the most special day. This day is called Makar Sankranti. Throughout India, this day is worshipped with great reverence, especially through Dhan, charity. Everyone does Dhan. Even if someone doesn't have food, he will strive to get a little bit of pulse, split peas and rice and make khichdi and feed others, starving his own, fasting himself or herself. As everyone looks upon this day as so important. Dhan is of great importance. Why is it so important? Because on this day, as I mentioned before, the Devatas, their timing is different from ours. Devatas, celestial beings, those beings who live in heaven. Agni, the god of fire. Indra, the king of heaven, the god of rain. Vayu, the god of wind. Kuber, the god of wealth. These are Devatas, celestial beings. 6 months of our time is equal to 12 hours of their time. Their 12 hours is 6 months our time. So the Devatas, they wake for 12 hours and they sleep for 12 hours. Our time, they wake for 6 months and sleep for 6 months. So the Devatas have been sleeping. And tomorrow, as the sun will now start traveling northwards, it has been traveling southwards, Dakshinarayan. And now it is going to go northwards, Uttarayan. And so it is the most auspicious time. And all auspicious works will start again as the Devatas have waken up. Observing that day, one of the most important things we can do is Dhan, charity. In this age we live in, only one dharma remains. In the Ramayana, Tulsidas tells us, Doha, प्रगट चारि पद धर्म के, कलिमल एक प्रधान, हो रामा कलिमल एक प्रधान। येन केन विधि दीनेउ, दान करे कल्याण, हो रामा दान करे कल्याण। सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम, शंकर हरिओ जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम। प्रगट चारि पद धर्म के, कलिमल एक प्रधान। येन केन विधि दीनेउ, दान करई kalyan. Dharma, originally, dharma means that which upholds society. dharma. So dharma originally has 4 principles on which it stands. Char pad. 4 principles. Satya, Daya, Shauch, Dan. Satya, truthfulness. Daya, compassion. Shauch, purity, especially purity in thought. Not so much external purity, but purity in thought, inside. And Dan, charity. In Satyug, these 4 existed in its most glory. In Treta Yuga also, in Dwapar, much less. And this age we live in, Kal Yuga, only one remains. Dan. Manuji Maharaj, the lawmaker, says, Dan me kam kalau yuge. In the age of Kal Yuga, only one dharma remains, Dan, charity. We owe a debt to God. So much things we are getting free. The wind, the sun, the rain, trees, all these things have been given to us by God free. We don't have to pay for it. Plus, we take life every moment, we commit murder. Commit murder? Yeah. Even if you're vegetarian, you eat baigan or what you call eggplant, melanjan, tomato, bora, karela, these all have life, soul, atma. That air we breathe, the tiny microscopic creatures, the water we drink. You walk underground, so many times you're stepping on creatures you don't even know. So to pay for that, the debt we owe to God and plus all these sins we are committing, God says we are supposed to give, according to Manu Smriti and other scriptures, Shiv Puran, etc., we are supposed to give something called Dashansh, 10% of our earning in charity. When we give the 10%, we fulfill the debt we owe. If we don't give, then we are committing pap, sin. The punishment, first to begin, we'll have to go to hell and rotate in the 8.4 million forms of life. Eventually, through God's grace, we'll get birth in the human form. But having gotten birth in the human form, because we did not give dan, charity in the past life, the punishment, besides all the punishment we have already gone through, hell, etc., will be born very poor. Dariddhata. Those of us who decide we're not going to give dan, charity, listen carefully. Even in the Gita, Bhagwan Krishna stresses in chapter 17 the importance of dan, charity. That's how we get wealth. Which home we are born in, environment, how much wealth will come to us easily is all determined a lot by whether we gave dan, charity in the past life. We don't realize. We curse and we look at the neighbor and we look at how much that one has and this one has, and we think that God is being unjust. He's not given to me. I'm working so hard. Bhaiya, you never gave. Where are you going to get from? That's how we get it. So we have to. Now, even though we have to give dan, charity, there's a vidhi. Yena kena vidhi dinev. Meaning we have to be careful how and where we give the dan. Bhagwan Krishna says in Gita, Deshe Kali Chapatrecha Tad Danam Satvikam Smitam. Chapter 17, verse 20, Gita. Patra ke anusar. Patra means vessel. The person you give the dan, the charity to, how you use your wealth, that's the benefit you're going to get. There are 4 patra, 4 vessels. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, and Nirgun. If we give this dan to a person who is tamasic, he utilizes it in a tamasic way for wrong things, we'll go to hell. Yes, the same dan will take us to hell. We give it to a rajasic person, or person uses that dan in a rajasic way, we get this material world or we go to hell. And we give it to a sattvic person that is used in a sattvic manner, we can go to heaven, or we become in the material world and born in a very rich family, etc. And we give it nirgun patra. So these 3 are bindings: sattva, sattvic, rajas, tamas. It binds us in the material world. If we give it to a nirgun part, nirgun means divine, beyond the 3 modes of Maya. In other words, to a saint. We use it for Bhagavan, or we give it to a saint. We get divine fruits. Many examples of people who just give dan and they attain God realization just by giving dan in the right path, the right vessel. So I just want to mention, because tomorrow we'll be celebrating Makar Sankranti. A lot of people don't understand what is the significance of Makar Sankranti. So it's a very auspicious day. Dan given on that day multiplies many, many, many times. Of course, part according to the vessel. You want divine fruits, give it to a divine vessel that will multiply your love, your bhakti so many times. On that day, in the year 1957, in a place called Kashi, ancient name Kashi, today is called Varanasi. The Kashi Vidvat Parishad, a body comprising of 500 of the greatest spiritual Vedic scholars in India at that time, conferred the title of only the fifth, Mool, original Jagat Guru, on Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. So for this day has become even more significant. And so that's why during this week, from today is the 4th day, we have been talking about the entity called the Guru. We especially labeled this series Guru Gyan Yagna. Understanding about the entity of a Guru and who is a Guru and why we need a Guru. What is the importance? So last night I mentioned that even God himself descends as Guru sometimes. And that in the year 1486, in a place called Navdvip, which is in Bengal in India, a special descension took place. Bhagwan Shri Krishna together with Radharani combined into one form and descended. And that form was known as Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. He propagated and revived the bhakti system, the path of bhakti, the path of love in God. But he only stayed 48 years. But before he left, he promised his mother, Sachi Ma, that I will come back 2 more times to uplift souls and to give the benefit of those who have not attained everything during this ascension. I will come back 2 more times. Upholding that promise, in the year 1922, on the full moon night, in the month of Sharat, so the Sharat Purnima, the full moon night, Sharat Purnima, which was 5th October 1922, in a village called Mangar, remote village, in the district of Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh in India, a very special incident happened. That upholding that promise that he had given to his mother, Gaurang Mahaprabhu descended. In that descension, he became known throughout the world as Jagat Gurutam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. That's why it's so special. The Lord again, the combined form of even more so this time Radharani, descended in the form of Jagat Gurutam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. The title was bestowed upon him by the Kashi Vidvat Parishad on the 14th of January. We'll hear more about that as we go along. Let's chant a few verses of a beautiful bhajan glorifying the Guru. Page 124 in the big book, book 4. Bhajan number 117. So this beautiful bhajan says, Jai Ho Sadguru Sarkar, Balihar, Balihar. All glories to the beloved Gurudev, the divine spiritual master. I sacrifice everything, my everything on him again and again. Topai koti prana daubar. O Gurudev, I offer uncountable lives I offer unto you again and again. Tuto Dujo Nanda Kumar. The Guru is another form of Sri Krishna himself. I told you Sri Krishna himself says this in Bhagavad Mahapuran to Uddhav, 11 Canto, 17 chapter 27 verse. When you meet the true Guru, you actually meet Bhagavan. Tuto Vidhi Hari Har Avatar. You are the descension of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv. There's a mantra for Guru which says this. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, Guru is Shiv, Guru is the Supreme Brahma, Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. Tuto Saganu Brahma Sakar, you're the Sagun. God has 2 forms, Nirgun as well as Sagun. With virtues as well as without virtues. You are the form of God with virtues himself. Tuto Divya Jnana Datar. You are the one who gives divine knowledge to the souls. We'll sing this beautiful bhajan, a few lines, and then we'll continue. Jai ho, Sadguru Sarkar, Balihar, Balihar, Jai ho,
Sadguru Sarkar, Balihar, Balihar.
Oh, Balihar, Balihar,
Balihar, Balihar.
Tu to koti pran dau baar. Balihar, Balihar, tu to
koti pran dau baar. Balihar, Balihar.
Oh, to pai koti pran dau baar. Balihar, Balihar.
Tu pe koti pran dau baar. बलिहार बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
ओ जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार ओ बलिहार बलिहार
जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो दूजो नंद कुमार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो दूजो नंद कुमार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो विधि हरिहर अवतार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो विधि हरिहर अवतार बलिहार बलिहार
हो तू तो सगुण ब्रह्म साकार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो सगुण ब्रह्म साकार बलिहार बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
ओ जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो दिव्य दान तू तो दिव्य ज्ञान दाता बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो दिव्य ज्ञान दाता बलिहार बलिहार
You are the giver of divine knowledge, the giver of true knowledge. You are also the giver of prem, divine love. Everything Guru gives. Tu to divya prem data, balihar balihar.
तू तो दिव्य प्रेम दाता बलिहार बलिहार
हो balihar balihar.
बलिहार बलिहार
हो balihar balihar.
बलिहार बलिहार
ओ जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार जय हो
सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
Guru is the one who cleans the heart of the sinful souls. He is a shelter for all sinners. He is the one who is our true everything. Every relation is with Guru. He is the one who uplifts all the sinful souls. तू तो पतितन की पतवार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो पतितन की पतवार बलिहार बलिहार
हो तू तो सबको साचो यार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो सबको साचो यार बलिहार बलिहार
हो तू तो अधम उदाहरणहार बलिहार बलिहार
तू तो अधम उदाहरणहार बलिहार बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार ओ बलिहार 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 ओ बलिहार 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 ओ बलिहार 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 ओ बलिहार 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 ओ बलिहार 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 ओ बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
ओ बलिहार बलिहार
बलिहार बलिहार
जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
जय हो सद्गुरु सरकार बलिहार बलिहार
बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. I told you last night that is extremely difficult. First, I mentioned in detail before that yes, we have to have a guru when it comes to the path of spirituality if we want to uplift spiritually. But one has to be qualified to be a guru. Qualified doesn't mean he has to have some degree. No. Qualified means there's something he has to have that makes him guru. And we were told from the Vedas, Bhagavad Mahapuran, as well as Gita, there are two qualities that qualifies one to be guru. Number one, Shrotriya. Shri Krishna says in Gita chapter 4 verse 34, Jnaninaha. In other words, he has complete knowledge of all the Vedas, all the Puranas, all the scriptures. Complete knowledge. Plus, he is able to remove our doubts. Number one. And number two, even more important, he is Brahmanishtam. The Vedas say. In Gita, Shri Krishna says, Tattvadarshinaha. Chapter 4, verse 34. In other words, he must have practical experience of God. He has attained the divine knowledge, divine bliss, divine vision. He's seen God. Only such a person is qualified to be guru. Now, I told you in our search to find that guru, it is extremely difficult because there are four kinds of people in the world. There are two kinds of worldly, materialistic people under the control of Maya, and there are two kinds of genuine saints. The first kind of worldly person is easy to recognize because he is worldly on the inside. He has all the faults inside of him: greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust. And he makes no attempt to hide that from the world. Most of us belong to that category. So easy to recognize. The second kind of worldly soul are those who are worldly, wrong, dirty on the inside, yet pretend to be God-men on the outside. They have all the faults inside of them: greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, selfishness. Yet they're very careful to hide the faults through the outward signs and characteristics of a saint, a God-man. In the same way, there are two kinds of genuine saints. The first kind of genuine saint, that is the one who is same on the inside as well as outside. In other words, he is always in union with God on the inside and makes no attempt to pretend to be worldly on the outside. Divine on the inside, divine on the outside. But very few saints have been of this category. Hardly any. The majority, 99.99% of saints have been of the second category. The second category are those who are divine, sacred, pure on the inside, yet outwardly act in such a manner as to make us believe them to be even more worldly than us. God and the saints have a special power called Yog Maya. Not Maya, Yoga plus Maya. Kartum akartum manyatha kartum samarthaha. That power which makes the impossible possible. God is the governor of Yoga Maya, whereas Yoga Maya governs the saints. We in the world are governed by Maya. We're ignorant. So just as God can make the impossible possible, the saint can do that also. Having this power, Yoga Maya. So through the power of Yoga Maya, God descends in the world as Ram, Shri Krishna, etc. Yet, they do everything like us. They take bath, eat, drink, rule, everything like us in the world. Through the power of Yoga Maya. And that's why no one benefits. The same with the saints. That they can remain divine on the inside, yet through that power of Yoga Maya, appear to be worldly on the outside. And that's why only when God or a saint will shower their grace upon us, we can even come close to a saint, far less to recognize them. They are very careful to hide themselves. Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam Prayatnataha. The saints do everything in their power to hide their true nature from the world, even God. No one benefits when they descend in the world. Now, even though it is the nature of the saint to hide their true reality from the world, they don't always succeed in doing so. There are times that they lose their control and power, and the inner reality is revealed, what they experience in every moment. What is the inner reality? A true saint, the true bhakt, devotee, a true saint, possesses the rarest and most precious thing which he tries to conceal. If ever you are blessed or fortunate to meet a true saint, try to find that rare thing in him. What is that rare thing? It is called bhakti, prem, divine love. This divine love is the rarest of all attainments. Muktana siddhana narayana parayana sudurlabha prashantatma kotishwapi mahamune. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 6th canto, 14th chapter, 5th verse. The Bhagavad Mahapuran says, very rare does one amongst millions and millions of self-realized soul, Jnani, self-realized soul, succeed in attaining that thing which is called bhakti, prem, divine love. Very rare does one amongst millions and millions. Kotishwapi mahamune. In the Ramayana, Bhagwan Shri Ram says to Kag Basundji, Chaupai. भक्तिवंत अति नीच प्राणी मोहि प्राण प्रिय असमम वाणी जय राम श्री
Shri Ram.
Bhagwan Shri Ram is saying to Kag Basundi ji, ki hey Kag Basundi, Bhaktivant ati neechahu prani, mohi prana priya asamam vani. He says, if someone has that love for me, that thing which is called love, we think we know what love is. I love you, I love you, I will die for you. We have no idea what this thing called love is. There are three things. One is lena, lena, to take and only take. One is lena, dena, to give and take, business. And one is dena, dena, to give and only give and want nothing in return. Lena, lena, to take and only take, that is lust. Me, 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 me. Lena, dena, that is called business, vyapar. You go to a store, you give the shopkeeper $10, he gives you $10 value in goods. You love me, I love you. You don't love me, get out. And dena, dena, to give and only give and want nothing in return. That is called love, brain. We have been well taught and are well practiced in only lena, lena, and also in lena, dena. And no one has ever taught us to give and only give, dena, dena. This is what is called love. No one in the world, no worldly soul can truly love. Dena, dena. We are selfish by nature. Sarva swartham samihate. The scripture says everyone is selfish by nature. We want our own happiness. Only one who has attained true happiness, who has attained God, can truly be selfless. We have to practice. So Shri Ram is saying that if a Shwapach, a Chandal, Ati Neechahu Prani, the lowest of the low, one who eats the flesh of a dog, kutte ka maas khane wala. Bhagwan Shri Ram says, if that person has love for me, Kag Basundi ji, true love, bhakti, he is dearer to me than my life. On the other hand, bhaktihin biranchi kin hoi sab jivahu sam priya mohi सोई जय राम श्री राम
जय जय राम श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम Bhaktihin. Heen means without. Bhaktihin abiranchi kin hui. Biranchi means Brahma. If someone doesn't have love for me, the Lord is saying, he doesn't have that bhakti, that love. Bhaktihin. Even if he is Brahma, my son, my beta, my own son Brahma. But if he doesn't have love for me, he is nothing but an ordinary soul. Ordinary. Prahlad, that great devotee, Prahlad Ji Maharaj, sitting on the lap of Nrsimha Bhagwan, he says to Nrsimha Bhagwan, Vipradisham gunayuta daravindanabha padaravinda vimukha chapachambarishtham manye tadarpita mano vachane hitartha pranam punati sakulam natu bhurimana. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 7th canto, 9th chapter, 10th verse. Prahlad Ji Maharaj says, he's saying to Nrsimha Bhagwan, a Shopach, a Chandal, as I said, the lowest of the low, who's eaten the flesh of a dog, who has dedicated his mind, senses, body, soul, wealth, and every activity in the service of the Lord, is far, far superior to a Brahman who possesses the 12 qualities, 12 merits, but doesn't have love for the lotus feet of the Lord. Brahman is glorified. And the kind of Brahman in the age of Satyug, there was the Brahman, they had certain virtues, 12. He has all the 12. But he doesn't have love for the Lord. That Shopat, that Chandal, who has love for the Lord, is far, far superior to him. That Chandal not only purifies himself, but many, many generations of the family he lives in. So great is bhakti. Kag Basundar Ji is saying to Garuji in the Ramayana, सब कर मत खगनायक एहा करिय राम पद पंकज नेहा बोल राम राम
राम राजा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 राजा राम राम राम
सखा परम परमारथ करिय राम पद पंकज नेहा बोलो
राम 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 राजा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 राजा राम राम राम
सब कर मत खगनायक एहा करिय राम पद पंकज नेहा. Kag Basundar Ji saying Guruji to Guruji, hey Guruji, it is the conclusion of all the scriptures and all the saints and sages, all the authorities, the conclusion, they have come to the conclusion, what is the ultimate thing of life? Kariya Rama Pad Pankaj Neha. To have love, Neha means love. To have love for the lotus feet of Prabhu Shri Ram, of the Supreme Lord. Sakha Param Paramaratha Ehu. There are 4 Purusharth. Purusharth, traditional aims of human life. 4. Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha. Desire for righteousness, desire for wealth, desire for pleasure, desire for moksha, liberation. The Ramayana is rejecting these 4 and says that there's a 5th which is the highest. It's beyond these 4. And what is that? Kariya Rama Pad Pankaja Nehu. Love, bhakti, love for the lotus feet of the Lord. This bhakti is the highest. This divine love. Gaurang Mahaprabhu says, Pancham Purusha Soi Prem Mohodhan. Chaitanya Charitamrita. That prem, that bhakti, that divine love is the supreme treasure. Okay, so now we've understood the significance and importance of bhakti, divine love, divine bliss, which only a true Rasik saint possesses. Rasik. There are many kinds of saints. A saint, one can attain God realization through the path of Gyan, Gyani saint, through the path of Yoga, through the path of Karma, through the path of Bhakti. But only one who has drunk the highest divine bliss of Radha Krishna is called a Rasik. The drink of divine nectar. You see, Shri Krishna is known as Ras. He is called Ras, I told you in the Vedas, Raso Vai Saha. He is divine bliss, divine nectar, and he is also called a Rasik Shiromani. Rasik means the drink of divine bliss, divine nectar. So he is also Ras and he is a Rasik. And those who attain Shri Krishna, Radha Krishna, they are also known as Rasik, the highest love of Radha Krishna. Rasik. So only such a saint possesses this divine love. So it's important. This brings us to the most vital point. And that is the symptoms or characteristics of this thing called divine love, bhakti, prem. This is a most important subject, as it is our best and surest guide for recognizing a genuine saint, the true saint. Parvato bahnivan dhumavatvat yat tat dhumah tat tat agni. Darshan Shastra. If you look in the distance, there's a mountain, and you see smoke coming from the mountain, it tells you there's fire in the mountain, whether the fire is visible or not. In the same way, wherever the surging current of divine love is deduced, we see it, we can immediately deduce that that saint possesses divine love, divine bliss, where the surging current is visible. The symptoms of this divine love are 8 in number, 8. And it is through these symptoms of divine love that an aspiring soul can immediately deduce the blazing fire of divine love possessed by that divine saint. The 8 symptoms are enumerated upon in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Rup Goswami says, Stambha svedo tharo mancha swarabhedo tave patu vaivarnyamashru pralaya ityastau satvika smitaha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Remember, this is not always seen. If the atmosphere is right, and that saint wants to shower his grace on the souls present, and the name of the Lord is being sung, the saint goes into what is called bhav, mahabhav. The symptoms of divine love, which he's always experiencing, starts manifesting into him. First one, stambha. He becomes still like a tree, like the trunk of a tree. Number 2, swayed, starts perspiring profusely. Number 3, romanch, horripilation. All the pores in the body raises on ends, goosebumps. Number 4, swarabhed, the voice changes. Number 5, vepatu, kampan, shivers like a leaf in the wind. Number 6, vaivarnya, the color of the skin, the face changes. Number 7, Ashru. Tears starts flowing from the eyes like a river. And number 8, Pralay becomes unconscious as though dead. These 8 symptoms are proof of the depthless ocean of divine love possessed only by a genuine Rasik saint. There are many quotations in Bhagavad Mahapuran describing the ecstatic condition of saints absorbed in the bliss of divine love. Evam vrata swapriyanama kirtya jata anurago druta chitta uchaihi hasatyatho roditi rauti gayatyunmar vinyat bannat nityatilo kabahya. Bhagavad Mahapuran 11 Canto, 2nd chapter, 40th verse. Kavi Maharaj, one of the 9 Yogeshwars, says to Videhanimi, a saint whose heart is overwhelmed with divine love fails to control the swelling tide of emotion in an environment where the name of his beloved Lord is being sung. He laughs, screams, sings, dances in ecstasy like a madman, transgressing all conventions. Vagadgada dravate yasya chittam rudatya bhikshnam hasati kvachitcha vilajaudgayati nityate cha madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punati. Bhagavad Mahapuran 11 Canto, 14th chapter, 24th verse. Shri Krishna himself, on being questioned by Uddhav, Shri Krishna is saying, describing a true devotee, a true saint, he says, my devotee speaks about my glories in a voice choked with emotion, gad gad. His heart melts in the anguish of separation from me, and at times he laughs in the joy of union, and shaken of all shyness, begins to laugh and sing and dance in ecstatic rapture. Such a devotee indeed purifies the whole world. Kvachid rudantyachyuta chintaya kvachid dhasanti nandantya vadantya laukikaha nityanti gayanti anushilayam tajam bhavanti tushnim parametya nirvitaha. Bhagavad Mahapuran 11 Canto, 3rd chapter, 32nd verse. Prabhupada Maharaj, another of the 9 Yogeshwars, describing the saint, the true saint, says to Videhanimi, with their hearts saturated with divine longing, divine bliss, the saints, they weep in the separation from the beloved Lord, and their ecstatic symptoms such as stupor, horripilation, perspiration, etc., are manifested in their body. At times they laugh and rejoice, dancing and singing, and address the Lord as though he was standing right next to them. Many people fail to understand the symptoms of this divine love, and so they think the saint is having fits. Now, there are a lot of people who act also. In order that people should worship them, they see other people doing it and they start jumping. A lot of acting goes on. They start jumping and screaming and rolling. A lot of them say, oh, Devi has come on them, Hanuman has come on them, Kali has come on them. One moment God is on them, and next moment They're totally worldly. Look, if you find yourself in wrong places, you can get possessed by evil forces. It happens. I'm sure many of you may have seen or have heard of people being possessed by ghosts and spirits. Evil forces. Only evil people become ghosts and spirits. There's no good ghost. To become a ghost, a spirit, you have to be very bad. You have to done something very wrong. Is a punishment given for committing suicide, etc. It's all written in the scriptures. So good people cannot become ghosts. They can then be good ghosts. All ghosts and spirits are evil. But they don't have a body. And they still have desires. They're in a spirit form. That soul is in a spirit form. So, in order to enjoy the senses, he wants to drink alcohol, is evil. He wants to drink alcohol, drink blood, smoke cigarette, enjoy sensual pleasures. In order to do that, he has to possess someone. So people who are very weak spiritually, they don't have any spiritual love for God, greed, anger, and very weak spiritually, and they find themselves in the wrong place where these ghosts and spirits are being worshipped, they get possessed by these spirits. And so they start doing things that normal people will not be able to do. They can walk on fire, eat fire, do all kinds of people. They take weapons and slash themselves. And people worship them, thinking this is God. It's evil. And that happens to few, mostly acting, because someone sees someone doing something and he starts acting or she starts doing it also. The people will come and do arti for me also. So, but there are people who do get possessed by ghosts and spirits. Now, as long as that person is possessed by that ghost or spirit, she's no longer responsible for the action. Whatever they do at that time is being done by that ghost or spirit, that evil entity, evil force. And that's why they can do things like walk on fire, etc. But that ghost or spirit stays for a little while and then goes away, enjoys himself or herself and then go away. Now in the same way, when someone worships God and surrenders to God, God also possesses that soul. He also possesses that soul. But unlike the material world, where that ghost, that evil spirit will possess that person for a little while and then go away, once God possesses someone, it's forever. That person becomes a saint forever. God realizes forever. Sada pashyanti surayah tad Vishnu paramam padam. The Vedas say he becomes God realized forever. He can never be material again. He can never be a material person again. Once I was somewhere, I went to do program, and this lady came to me in Bob and she said, Swamiji, Babaji, can I tell you something? I said, yes. Oh, Devi comes in me. I said, ooh, what Devi? Kali, the mother Kali comes in me. I said, okay. I speak Sanskrit. Okay. I studied some Sanskrit in India, in Varanasi. So I said, okay, let me hear. He said, you want to hear? I said, yes. I have learned Sanskrit. And she said, Baba, I have so much problem. My husband has lost his job and all my pots get torn over and I have nothing. But I said, lady, you have Kali, the divine mother of the universe. Huh? You have God and you have so much problem. People don't understand what even God is or what God is for. All kind of nonsense. This Kali Yuga. You start jumping and running, give them 2 slaps, you'll so fast all the bhoot will run away. So, when a genuine soul, when God possesses that soul, it's forever number one. Number two, from that moment onwards, whatever that soul does, God is doing. As I told you, Jo kare so Hari kare. He is now God personified for us. He or she. And you will know it's genuine. The divinity and the bliss you will experience. And it doesn't do it all the time. Making a show of it. Very rare. Kahu kahu brishti sadari thori. It's as rare to see a divine saint in that condition, in the bhav, as it is to see snowfall in summer. Doesn't make a show of it. As I told you, he hides himself. He does everything in his power that no one should know. And you have someone jumping all over the place. It's very difficult. You have to spend long time in his company with faith and reverence, with devotion. And then finally, when he desires to shower his grace, you will get a glimpse. A glimpse. Only he is so fortunate, supremely fortunate, who happens to catch even a glimpse of this divinity that the saint is always experiencing. But as I said, he doesn't always remain in that state. He has to control it in order to perform the work for which he has descended in this world. Why does a saint come in this world? To just chant Radhe Radhe? Hare Ram, Hare Krishna? No. He comes to uplift sinners. Without a saint, no one can go to God. Without a true guru. One reason for a saint coming in this world is to purify sinners, to uplift us worldly souls, to take us to God. But if he continues in a divine ecstasy, he will not be able to talk to us, to answer our question. We will not be able to benefit from him. So this could be one of the reasons why he's very rarely seen in his reality. He has to control that divine ecstasy, that Mahabhav. But he cannot remain in that state all the time. Even material love, what we call love in the world. Someone says, when they see a boy see a girl see a boy, and the thought comes again and again in the mind, this girl is going to make me happy, this is the boy who's going to make me happy. And then you feel, oh, I cannot live without this girl, I can't live without this boy. Oh, even food I can't eat, I can't sleep. You know what you say in Trinidad, right? Tabanka. Food also you can't eat. I have to get this girl, I have to get this boy. And then you get married, let's suppose it. Before you got married, I will die for you. I will give you the stars, the moon. Anything you want, my darling, I'll give to you. And after marriage, a few years pass, you will get some real stars. You start seeing stars. You wonder what mistake I made to get married to this person. I thought this person will make me happy. Instead of happiness, I'm getting pain and suffering. Because that person, that's how you are looking to that person to make you happy. That person is also looking towards you to make him happy. Both want happiness and both don't have it to give. Big problem. We don't understand. So even that worldly happiness, which is not true happiness, cannot remain hidden for long. Baira preeti nahi, durahi durahe. Just talk to a woman who has recently become a widow about the good qualities, start talking about good things about her husband. Immediately you will see tears running down the cheeks. This obviously implies that even material love hidden in the heart cannot remain hidden once there's a right atmosphere. How then can the saint, whose every fiber of his being is filled with the infinite depthless ocean of divine love, hide it? I was very fortunate to see the great saint Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu in that divine state. Not once, few times, many times. Very fortunate. Look, how do we, I was telling you that he is a descension of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, descension of Radharani. How can we make such a statement? No one told me this. This came from inside. Later on, I understood more the philosophy, but it just automatically happened. Understand the philosophy. There are 10 types of devotion. 10 types of devotion. Sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, prema bhakti, sneh bhakti, man bhakti, pranay bhakti, rag bhakti, anurag bhakti, bhavesh bhakti, mahabhav bhakti. 10. Out of this 10 type of devotion, 2 are what we have to do. Sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti. This is called sadhana bhakti or preparatory devotion. That's what we have to do. Sadhana bhakti means the mind doesn't have interest for God as yet. Naturally not interested in chanting the name of God and loving God. By practicing sadhana, slowly the mind gets attached. When the mind gets to the point that even a moment without thinking about God, chanting the name, you feel like a fish out of water, that is called bhav bhakti. It's still under Maya, you haven't attained perfection. So these two, sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, preparatory devotion. The other 8, from prema bhakti onwards, I experience in a state of perfection, and put together they are called siddha bhakti, or perfect devotion. First, we have to make the vessel, the heart, the mind has to become pure. Under the shelter of a genuine Rasik saint. When the heart becomes completely pure, then that Guru will give you that Swarup Shakti. And then you will attain Prema Bhakti. Now, this Prema Bhakti till Mahabhav is divided in different categories. There are 3 categories of true love. Bhakti, divine love. 3 types of devotees. We can say A class, B class, C class. C class, the lowest class. The devotees of C class, they love Shri Krishna, they love God, but only for their own happiness. They have no desire for the world. Praying to God for the world and wanting the world is not even bhakti. That person is a great fool, doesn't even know what bhakti is yet. This person, they want only God love. They only love Shri Krishna. They want to satisfy their senses, but only with Shri Krishna, nothing with the world. But they only want their own happiness. They don't care whether Shri Krishna is happy or not. The greatest example, the example of such a devotee in Bhagavad Mahapuran is Kubja, the hunchback, the servant of Kans. It is said that in the past life she was Shurpanakha. Anyhow, go in detail too much. So, Kubja, she wanted to enjoy her senses. She only loved Shri Krishna, but she only cared about her happiness. So that is called Sakam Prem. Sadharni Rati, C class, the lowest. That devotee upon God realization only attains up to Prema Bhakti, the lowest of the Siddha Bhakti, the lowest level, Prema Bhakti. Higher than that, B class, Samanjasarati. These devotees, they love Shri Krishna as a wife loves the husband. The wives of Shri Krishna in Dwarika, 16,108, amongst them Mahalakshmi, Rukmini. They belong to this category. They love Shri Krishna for his happiness, but they want their happiness also. 50-50. These devotees, they go beyond Prema Bhakti, Sneh Bhakti, Man Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, and they reach Anurag. That's the highest they can go. They cannot go higher. And the highest class, A class, Samartharati. These are the gopis of Vrindavan. There is no higher devotee than the gopis. The gopis love Shri Krishna only for his happiness. Tat sukha sukhitvam. Narad Bhakti Sutra. To be happy in the happiness of the beloved. Whatever the gopis did, it was only to give happiness to Shri Krishna. There was no desire in the gopis' heart for her own happiness, even equal to the breadth of a single strand of hair. That's why when it comes in Bhagavad Mahapuran, as far as devotees are concerned, the Bhagavad says, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, that Shivji is the highest. Naraji, the guru of bhakti, says, no, I don't agree. Naraji says, Yatha Braja Gopika Naam. He says, the gopis of Vrindavan. Even Shivji had to become a gopi. We'll hear about it sometime. So these gopis, they go beyond Anurag, Bhakti, Bhavesh, Mahabhav, the highest place that a soul can go, Mahabhav. Beyond that, more than. There's a class beyond that. No soul can go there. Only Shri Krishna, Radharani. And in this more than, there's a higher class. That is divided in many categories. There's a higher class called Madanak Mahabhav. This is reserved only for Radharani. Even Shri Krishna cannot go there. And that's why he's constantly serving Radharani to experience that Madanak, that bliss, a glimpse of that Madanak Mahabhav. And that's why he descended as Radharani in the form of Gaurang Mahaprabhu to experience the Madanak Mahabhav, the highest point of that divine love. There's no higher. And even Shri Krishna can't experience in the form of Shri Krishna. Only one saint in history has exhibited all the divine aspects of Madhanak Mahabhav, the 8 symptoms to the highest level. That was Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Stambha svedo tharo mancha swarabhedo tave patu vaivarnyamashrupala ityas satvikasmitaha. After him, only one. After him, the only other soul to be seen in that state of the 8 symptoms exhibited to the highest point was Jagat Guru Tam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. And this is why even the Kashi Vidvat Parishad recognized that they bestowed upon him the title. One of the titles they bestowed upon him was Bhakti Yoga Rasa Avatar. Bhakti means Radharani. Ras is a name for Sri Krishna in the Vedas. Raso vai saharasagvam hevayam labdha nandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 7. And Yog means the combination, when you join. The combined dissension, avatar, dissension of divine love bliss. In other words, Radha Krishna is called Bhakti Yoga Rasa Avatar. Primarily Radharani. And so, many great Mahatmas and saints, they have proclaimed Jagat Guru Tam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu to be the descension of Radharani. A divine descension. The Radharani, that form that even Sri Krishna worships, descended in this world in the year 1922, in the full moon night of the month of that full moon of Shar Purnima, October 5th, in the year 1922, in order to bless this world and the souls in this world. We are so greatly blessed. We have no idea. It is very difficult, as I said, to see and to be blessed by this. Let me give you an example. Of a saint known by the name of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi lived during the descent of Lord Gaurang Mahaprabhu. He lived in the same time. He was a great saint. But he lived outwardly what seemed to be such a life of luxury and comfort that it was almost impossible to believe that he was a true Rasik saint of the highest degree. Even the followers of Gaurang Mahaprabhu could not recognize his nature, his true nature. Once, Mukund, a follower of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, disciple, went to visit Pundarik Vidyanidhi, accompanied by another devotee, Gadadhar. Now, Gadadhar Swami, he saw Pundarik Vidyanidhi lying on a beautifully ornamented golden bed. Golden ornamented bed. With silken sheets. He had applied sandal paste to his forehead and perfume oil to his very beautiful thick hair, and was lying comfortably in the bed chewing pan or betel leaf. He wore very expensive clothes and appeared to be more luxurious than even the best of princes in the world, with such grandeur. 2 girls. All the servants in his house were girls, ladies. 2 girls gently fanned him on either side. Observing all this luxury and rich finery, Gadadhar became totally confused and mistook Pundarik Vidyanidhi to be a material man. To him, a saint meant one who was totally detached from the world, as he himself was totally detached from the world ever since he began practicing bhakti right from his childhood. He wondered, how could a man absorbed in such worldly pleasures and luxuries be a saint? Mukund read his thoughts and immediately recited a beautiful verse from Bhagavad Mahapuran to draw the hidden ocean of divine love that was in the heart of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. This shlok I said in the Vandana. Aho vakiyam stanakalakutam jighansaya payayadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatuchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. Who else is more so compassionate? Who else is so compassionate in whom I can take complete shelter other than the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, who gave that wicked witch, Putana, a foster mother's high place in his divine abode, a mother's place in his divine abode, even though she had come to kill the divine child with the intention of killing that divine child with poison smeared to her breast. Halahal vish. Kalakut vish. Kalakutam. That a child will only touch the mouth and will die. Didn't have to drink. The moment Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard this verse from Bhagavad Mahapuran, he became lost in a divine ecstatic rapture. That person who was lying comfortably in bed a moment ago was in a disheveled state. He fell down from the bed in divine ecstasy, and all the symptoms of divine love was manifested in him. Gadadhar immediately realized his mistake and made it up in his mind to accept the great saint Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his guru. What I'm trying to say is that the saints are so good in hiding their true nature. The genuine saints. That's why the world, unless you're deserving, it's very hard for the worldly people to go to a genuine saint, far less to benefit from him. Because he will not openly come and say, I am a saint. Or show his divinity. On our part, we'll have to give some time. Think something we don't have time. We don't have time. We have to give time. In our busy life, take out some time to reverently and devotionally spend time in his company, attaching our heart with him. And it's then we have to become childlike in his company. Many people go to meet a saint, a true saint, and they go thinking they're going to test him to see if he's a saint. And the saint, he knows what you're thinking. He deliberately behaves in such a manner that you become completely confused and run away from there. Don't do that. Spend time reverently. Become childlike in his company. And then you will see in him God manifested. When the divinely appointed teacher comes, give up everything. For you have attained that golden opportunity that doesn't come again and again. Do not let go of this golden opportunity. As I mentioned, I was personally blessed, and many devotees all over the world who were blessed to catch some glimpse, some of us more, some less. I spent a long time in his association. So I saw quite a number of time in that Mahabhav state, being very, very close to him. Many have had the great fortune observing, and you knew that when you were there, you were in the company of supreme divinity. You felt the atmosphere became charged with so much divinity. Can't explain. That's why this thing sometimes you're not supposed to say, but to help others and to may help them to benefit, some things we do have to say sometimes. So that's why I'm saying a few things so that it will help you to understand. There's much more, but we will hear in the next discourse. बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. Before we go off the air, let me again thank our sponsors, especially on the 106.5 FM. Our wonderful sponsors, Sachin's Auto Air Conditioning, D. Sibalak Drive-In Hardware, Narvik Enterprises Limited, DS Tiles and Home Center Limited, Radha Govind Society. And of course, we cannot forget Pandit Satyananda Maharaj and Bhakti TV. We want to thank them very much for carrying also this program and all the programs live. So many souls can benefit all over the world. And thank you very much. बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, श्री राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे.